Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Mastering HubSpot's Service Hub. I'm Kendra Ellis, Director of Client Services here at SmartBug Media, and today we're diving into the world of customizing tickets and automation to enhance your support workflow. Joining me to share her experience is Sophie, a Service Hub all the way from HubSpot. Sophie, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, hi everyone. Glad to be here. I'm Sophie. I'm a product manager on the help desk team at HubSpot. But before that, I was a customer onboarding specialist specializing in Service Hub implementations. And before that, I was a HubSpot support rep. So this topic is very near and dear. So I'm excited to dive in.
Love it. Well, let's jump in then. When it comes to managing tickets in Service Hub, what are some of the biggest challenges businesses face? I know sometimes we can feel like it's a constant game of catch up with tickets. So how can businesses ensure they're prioritizing the right issues and getting to resolutions quickly?
Yeah, totally. It can really feel like an uphill battle. And I think it's really important to acknowledge that like the problems and challenges that support teams face, no matter what tools they're using, are really difficult ones because customer support is an incredibly challenging role. Support reps have to be expert, they have to have expert product knowledge, they need razor sharp troubleshooting skills, complete mastery of like customer service and de-escalation. So they really are the unsung heroes of many organizations, and they deserve tools that are going to empower them and give them strength as they tackle what probably feel like these mountains of tickets. And if you've been a HubSpot customer for a while, you know that for the longest time, the biggest challenge to doing customer support in Service Hub is that there has been no dedicated place to do customer support in Service Hub, right? You have conversations, you have tickets, you have to sort of cobble together a support process between these two tools that don't always play nice together. Tickets have the data, conversations has the real time and the messaging. The objects sort of do automation differently, so status and owner get out of sync. It's confusing. And it's meant that you really had to tailor your process to fit Service Hub and not the other way around. But we are very thrilled to say that that's a thing of the past with Help Desk, which is our new ticket management workspace in Service Hub. And it's a dedicated, purpose-built space for support teams that combines the best of conversations, the best of tickets into a single experience. So it's currently in beta for Service Hub Pro and Enterprise customers. It looks and feels similar to the inbox with, again, the omni-channel real-time messaging, but it's powered by the ticket object. So you get everything that you need in one spot, no more flip-flopping back and forth between inbox and tickets, no more status and owner getting out of sync. You've got all the tools that you need to deliver great support at scale in one spot. So all this to say, the best way to prioritize and to get resolutions quickly in Service Hub is to use Help Desk.
Oh, love hearing that. I remember way back in my day when I was supporting the customer support teams, I was helping them implement on Service Hub. And while it was extremely valuable, even all the way back then, I am so excited about this Help Desk feature. So I just had to give out a shout out to my unsung heroes and the customer support teams across, obviously, the current HubSpot ecosystem and anyone that's now onboarding. It's a very powerful tool, and I'm so excited about this Help Desk for sure.
Yeah, we're excited too. It's been a long time coming.
I know, I'm so excited. Oh, sorry, I'm getting too excited. Actually, no, I'm not. But so let's jump forward a little bit here with thinking about this powerful tool. Customization is kind of key, in my opinion. So before we dive into some of the specifics of that, what do you feel is the most important question a business should ask themselves when setting up their Service Hub customizations?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to cheat and I'm going to give you three. I think there are three really important questions to ask yourself before you're setting up your Service Hub. And the first one is, what are your goals? If you've been through any HubSpot onboarding before, you've probably heard your onboarding specialist ask this. What are your goals? What is the end outcome? What do you want to see at the end of this implementation? If your goal is to improve your customer feedback scores, maybe you set up skill-based routing so that customers get matched with the right agent with the right skills right away. If your biggest goal right now is to drive down support volume, maybe you actually don't start with tickets at all. Maybe you start by setting up your knowledge base and a support bot to deflect some of that volume while you set up your help desk. I think sitting down, taking stock of what's most important to your team and your organization will really help you to establish the right order of operations for your setup. And the second question is, who are your customers and what do they need? It sounds super obvious, but this one's so important before you get started. If you have it, consult some previous CSAT or NPS data. What are the themes? Where are folks encountering issues? Could you set up specific snippets or templates so that your team has those ready to go when they encounter those themes? Do you have data from any previous support system that could tell you what channels customers prefer to use if all of them are coming in through chat? Set up chat first, not phone. And then the third question is, what's your process? So I don't just mean like the flow of a ticket, although, you know, how it comes in, although that is important. I mean, at a very high level, like, how is your team structured? Do you have frontline and backline teams? Do you have subject matter experts? Do you have reps or teams that work in specific languages? So I'd really think about like how you want to structure your team and your pipelines. What is that crucial information that reps need to action any ticket? You want to think about how to display that key data, how and when, how to display that in help desk. So those would be the top three, I think. Understand your goals, understand your customers, and understand your process.
Fabulous answer. I love that. It's all about, especially in customer support, client success, it's all about delighting, right? In that customer experience. So I think you broke that down beautifully into what to think about. So then how do companies actually translate that into their day-to-day workflows within the platform? Is there some flexibility to customize the workspace itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna screen share and give you a little preview of what to expect at help desk, actually. Let me know when you can see that.
Yes, we
Cool.
can see that.
All right, so the first way I'd recommend customizing is through views. So we recommend that folks use views to keep their help desk organized and focused, and just to make sure that reps are seeing the information that's relevant to them. You know, unlike inbox where you can have like, multiple different inboxes set up, there is only one help desk. And views are how you keep it organized. And you have these default views at the top here that, you know, come with help desk, but you can also make custom ones. And just to show you what that looks like, they can be private, so just with you. They can be shared with just your team. They can be shared with everyone. You can use little emojis in the name of the views, which is a new feature we just added, which
I
is kind
love
of cool.
emojis.
Yeah, so if you have like a team name or what have you, you can personalize it a little bit. And then these views can be based on any available ticket property. So let's say you've got two teams using help desk, tech support, and billing. You know, they don't need to see each other's tickets. It would just be distracting. So you can set up these team-based views so that their queues can be separated. You can have a view for each status in your pipeline, a view for tickets as high priority or of a certain category. So views is definitely where I would start when it comes to customizing the workspace. And if I'm setting up help desk, the next place I'm going is this edit columns button here. And this lets you customize the properties that appear on this list page. And this, you know, this screen is really where we see folks like triaging and prioritizing tickets. So it needs to be scannable. You know, you need to be able to quickly look at this and figure out like what ticket needs action. For some teams that might be priority status, other folks it might be a custom property. Just note that when you change these columns, they do change them for the whole portal. It's not just for the user. So when you add category, you add it for everyone. And then shifting gears a little bit into the details view, this is where you can troubleshoot and respond. Again, if you are an existing HubSpot customer, you'll notice this looks pretty similar to the inbox. You can also customize this right-hand sidebar over here. So running with our example from before, if I'm a tech support rep, maybe I have to see product and ticket details here, but if I'm in the billing team, maybe I need like payment and subscription information instead. So by customizing the sidebar, which you can do over here in settings, you can make sure that each team has the access to the information that's relevant, like right at their fingertips, and it just lets them move quickly through their tickets.
That's fabulous. So Sophie, correct me if I'm wrong. If you have teams or departments that are on other hubs like Marketing Hub, Sales Hub, they could help the support team kind of set up this customization because it seems very similar across the hubs and how you can customize your views, how you can customize columns, tickets, deals. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, I will note that at the moment you need to have a paid like Service Hub seat in order to get the full functionality of Help Desk, but there will be like a collaborator seat or access basically, where if you're not a support rep, but for any reason you may need to have access to Help Desk and the tickets that are in there, that's still possible.
Fantastic. Cool. So if we want to switch gears a little bit, let's talk a little bit about automation. So Service Hub offers some pretty impressive automation features. So how can companies leverage the automation to then further streamline their ticketing workflows specifically?
Yeah, totally. Support teams definitely have their hands full. So the more you can take off their plate, the better. There are three things that I want to call out here. One is ticket-based automation. So again, existing HubSpot customers will know that you have all of these like great ticket automation features in settings already. These ones here, like the conditional status properties, when a ticket reaches a certain stage, you can require certain properties to be filled out. This is really important for reporting. You also have your reply-based automation. So when you send a message or when your customer sends a message, the status will change. And you've got all of this baked in status automation that existing HubSpot customers will be familiar with. So let's say you have a ticket that reaches like an in-dev status and you have to notify a team of developers that this ticket is ready for them to action. You can use these baked in workflows to make sure that that notification gets sent out. 3 days later, send a reminder so that, again, that task isn't on the support rep and they can focus on closing tickets. The next thing that I want to point out is SLAs, or service level agreements, which is another feature that you can customize in Help Desk and really tailor it to your support process. And SLAs let you set standards for how quickly your team should respond to or close tickets. So once you set these up, support reps will get a warning when a ticket is approaching or in breach of an SLA, and just giving them a clearer picture of what tickets need immediate action. And a cool update with Help Desk is that we've added some new options. So you can set up SLAs on all tickets based on a certain property, like priority, pipeline, team, or source. So let's say you've got a pipeline specific to VIP customers, you can set up a shorter time to respond or close SLA than you might have for your other pipelines.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And then finally, you've also got another super exciting update that's available to enterprise customers in beta. And this is called skill-based routing. And it's a really game-changing update that lets you match your customers' needs to the best skilled agent. And you do this by creating a set of rules that routes tickets to teams or agents with those specific skills. So let's say you have support reps who provide Spanish language support. You can create a skill for Spanish-speaking reps and then route those incoming Spanish language tickets to those agents and just make sure that the customer gets matched with the folks that can give them the best possible support.
Oh, that is a game changer. Woo! So I'm thinking back to like when I first was onboarding customer support team, like a while ago, but this would have been such an amazing game changer. So you mentioned the language specific experts. I'm also thinking like customer supports that have certain expertise in lines of business. So you have an organization that has several different lines or several different product types, and you need to route those customers to those specific people. Like this is the perfect way to do that.
Yep, exactly. Like subject matter experts or any of that sort of thing.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Oh, I love that. Okay, so Sophie, this has been incredibly insightful. I have one more question before we have to wrap things up. So when it comes to customizing tickets and automations in Service Hub, what do you personally find is the most valuable feature and why?
Ooh, that's a good question. And I think I'm going to cheat again. I think I'm going to give you, it's a tie between the customizable sidebar and skill-based routing. And I say that because you see, information and statistics all the time about how the speed of a response is like the single most important thing to customers when it comes to how they felt about any given support experience. And the improvements that our routing team has made and continue to make, like put a lot of control back in the hands of customers and allow them to accelerate that ticket assignment process and connect the customer and the rep as quickly as possible. And then once the rep is in the workspace, it's really important that they can access the information that's the most important to them and not, waste time sifting through information that's not relevant. So the customizable sidebars make that happen. And again, give the customer control over what appears in the workspace. So I think using these two tools together, routing and customization, you can really shorten that distance, shorten the amount of time between your customer expressing a problem and getting their solution.
I couldn't agree more. If I had to pick one, I think I would pick the skill-based lead routing for sure. Like I remember spending so much time like simply just routing the proper clients or customers over to the proper teams, and just to think that that is a way that can be automated to the right people at the right time just speaks to our overall message in general. So if I had to pick, that would be my one.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I want to give a huge thanks to you for joining us today, Sophie. This has been fantastic. I know that I learned a lot. I hope you all learned a lot. Let's keep the conversation going though. So if you want to drop any questions that you have about customizing tickets or automation right here in the comments below, Sophie and I will do our best to answer them. And of course, be sure to join us live next week for another episode. We'd love to see you there.